Hi, baby boomer fans. We are Jackie and Janine, the Pfeiffer sisters, and love to talk about the 1950s, inviting you to reminisce with us as we explore experiences of that decade. Grab your favorite malt or Green River. Make sure you are wide awake and get ready to be inspired about the 1950s. Welcome to the 1950s Fun Chat.
Hello, friends and guests. We're just so grateful that you're joining us again today for this number 164 of the 1950s Fun Chats. We often talk with individuals and those from groups, representing groups. And today we have one of those special features of a group of ladies, you might say, a set of twins, and a group of triplets, because there will either be two or three ladies involved on the screen. And they are representing a wonderful place in Cass County, Iowa. Jackie, how can you take it from there?
Okay, well, viewers, hello again. Please take note of the purple banner at the bottom, whilethewindmillwatched.com, www.whythewindmillwatched.com. There you'll find all sorts of information about Janine and me and about the book which spurred the 1950s Fun Chat. And that book is in the upper corner of your screen. While the Windmill Watched, a slice of rural America in the 1950s. And note the little white dot that you may not be able to see so very well, and that is a special award that the book got in 2022 as being the distinguished favorite in the regional category. So the little book is very happy to be sporting that. But now let's get on with our show, as someone in the 50s used to say. Just greetings to you all. And in this fun chat, we're going to hear from a team associated with the Cass County Museum, located in Griswold, Iowa. Now, Sally Hansen, want to wave, is the board chair.
Sally here.
She grew up as a child of the 50s, as did Sheryl Buroughs.
Hello.
Both were farm girls, and each went on to further their education. So Sally recently retired as the manager of Omaha's VA dental clinic. She's married and has 3 children and 5 grandchildren. Sally was involved in restoring this museum and has some interesting stories to share, and we are looking forward to hearing those. So Sheryl taught home economics and then owned and operated 2 fabric/cloth sewing machine stores in Griswold and Council Bluffs, Iowa. She's married, still living on a farm, and is the mother of 3 daughters and enjoys 7 grandchildren. So one of the newest board members is Natalie Bierbaum, the married mother of a darling 1-year-old daughter. Natalie's talents in the computer field are invaluable to the Cass County Museum. So ladies, we welcome all 3 of you to the Fun Chat.
Yes.
Thank you. We're glad to be here.
And you'll see Natalie in a little bit.
So all of our Fun Chats involve the decade of the 1950s. During this chat, we will be treated with a tour of the museum covering these topics. These topics are toys of the 50s, kitchen items, clothings of the 50s, the Globe Theater, crazy quilts and more, and others, and presidential candidate buttons, and much, 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 much more. So ladies, I invite you to commence the show and tell of what this free museum offers, beginning with the history of the museum and then moving on with the tour.
Sounds good. Guys, this museum was actually founded by 2 local guys in 63. And in 2005, we call it a coup. There were a few of us that took it over because we were in danger of losing the name, which is the Cass County Museum. We thought if we let a neighboring town have that name, it would just be a few more empty buildings on our main street. So we actually closed the museum and we picked up like 5-gallon buckets that were catching the holes in the roof, and we cleaned everything that was here, and we spent like the next 2 years reworking the museum. We'll show you in a little bit. There's a wonderful tin ceiling. In fact, it's in the original bank building, and it is the only building in our town that is on the National Register of Historic Places. So we're very proud of that. But it's a labor of love. We are funded solely by the largesse of our local community. We just have such staunch support and always have had. The museum is kept open by volunteers. The board is all volunteers. And so we're very proud of how far it's come.
You bet. And I'm sure that the exhibits change from time to time. It's been a while since I've been there, but I do remember just having a great time looking through everything that you had. Actually, I couldn't go through everything that you had because my time was so limited.
Yes.
It's a wonderful, wonderful addition to Cass County, Iowa.
Thank you.
That's in the off season. We're open from May through the end of October. In the off season, we do change all the exhibits, not all of them, but numerous ones.
Yes.
And so it's always something new. We have a lot of people who have donated items that so many we can't display them all at one time. So rather than cram everything together, we want to do it right. And Sally and her gals have really done a good job with that.
Cheryl, where do you store all the extra?
Well, gosh, we have it everywhere. Every nook and cranny is filled with storage. We actually have an upper level storage, and we just recently put up a metal building, sort of a garage to store it, because it's hard sometimes. Our upstairs storage gets a little awkward to get to when you're carrying heavy pieces of furniture and totes. So we're kind of getting organized, and this new garage has been really helpful. Yeah, it's been really helpful for us.
Do you ever lack for receiving new items?
We don't. Now, I think there was a time, before the coup, where people were not sure that their treasured items were going to be safely restored or displayed. And so people were a little reticent maybe about donating until they saw what we were doing with things. And so now people come in probably daily with different things. We have a tremendous Indian collection that was donated by 2 local collectors. Military, we have a fabulous military section. Just, things that families want to make sure that they're taken care of.
Do you do any restoration of the items?
We do some, and we have people that, like Cheryl's fabulous at restoring, some of the beautiful old wedding dresses that we get. And, she's just fabulous at that. And we have, several furniture people that will work on things. And like I said, it's just a labor of love for the community.
Wonderful, wonderful. Do either of you have a favorite display that is up now?
So many. We're going to take you into the Victorian room, and I have to say, personally, that's probably one of my favorite eras. And you'll see we've decorated for the first time for Halloween, and that kind of started with a recent donation.
Yes.
And it was a body basket from a local funeral home. And it was from the Victorian era, where the bodies were displayed in the formal parlors before being, buried. And so we have a skeleton in the body basket, and it's kind of, it's just been a lot of fun. But on the trick-or-treating night, we're going to be open for the children to come in. So we're all excited about that.
Are you going to scare them when you're
Yes. Oh, yes.
Only a little bit.
Yeah.
How did you this body bag? Why was it?
It's a big wicker basket about 6 feet long, and it was it's just the funniest thing. I mean, it's just wonderful that, number one, it still exists.
That's right.
And so we had to research it, and the funeral home people were a little. They said, "Okay, we've got this thing, and we hope you don't think we're weird, but we just wanted to know if you wanted it." And as they described it, we both kind of got the giggles, and I said, "Yes, we want that."
So will we be able to see that today?
Yes,
We'll
yes.
give you a
good.
look at that,
Have
too.
you seen one like that before in any
Never.
other museum?
Never.
I've just seen pictures of something like
Yes.
that, but never.
Never. And, as we have talked about it here, we've had people that come in and they say as children, they can remember Uncle Frank being displayed in the house.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember that personally,
No.
ever seeing
me neither.
anyone, in other than a funeral home too. But I guess, back in the day, that was where people, had their celebration of life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Sheryl, a favorite part for you?
Oh, we have so many neat exhibits, and that's compliments of those who are really artistic, and that's not me, but I appreciate it all. But we do have a special room that I don't think no other museum in the world probably has, and that's the collection of farm buildings that were built to specifications by a local farmer who only had vision in one eye, and it was Wayne Kirkhoff from Lewis. And we'll give you a treat to see that. It's a whole room with all kinds of wonderful, wonderful barns and other buildings.
Well, and I'm sure he was very grateful that there was a place
That's right.
Yes.
to show and preserve his creations.
Yes. He and his family both.
Right.
Yeah.
It just happened, they started thinking about what's going to happen to this. And about that time, we had purchased the building next to us. And so we hadn't put things in it yet. So it was like, okay, this is just supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It all worked out well.
So you said purchase. So how did you get your initial funds? Did you have
we raised funds. We do various things. We do some crazy fundraising over the years, and we've had a lot of fun with the fundraising. We write grants, and again, it's the largesse of the community. We do a membership drive. We've had several people give us, large donations. It's just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And, we've been very fortunate financially that we could get our hands on this building. And, a lot of the labor was donated, by the construction people that had to make it. And when we started, the first thing we did with this building, we called in a structural engineer just to make sure that, it was going to be good. And he just said, oh, they just don't make them like this anymore. And he just said, you can do anything you want, with this old girl. And so from that point onward, we started with the original bank building, and then the building next to it. And then the one that Sheryl was just talking that houses the barn collection is the third building that we now have. And so it's just been, a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
What?
And
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. We had 2 fundraisers each year, and soup suppers. We had a bridal show, big bridal show, and that was successful. Brought in, it was a lot of work. And but that's how you
Yes.
This is countywide, so we have involvement throughout the county.
Did the bridal show feature only the gowns you have in the museum?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh,
part of them.
Yes.
Oh,
just a part. We have fabulous gowns, and we recruited the high school girls, to model them and to wear them. And it was just, it was fabulous. And they actually thought we should have a 2-day event because we ran out of space for people, but we had it at the community building, and it was just a lot of fun.
Yes.
And so we described the wedding gowns and, where they came from and the families. And then of course all the families came, number one, to see their models and to see their dresses. So it was fun. We've done crazy shows,
yes,
and plays we put on. We have no shame whatsoever. We've just had a lot of fun over the years.
What if someone wanted to donate their wedding gown? How old must it be in order to be part of the museum?
Actually, any age. We're just realizing now that we don't have many things from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and those are vintage. They're becoming vintage.
Yes.
But
Yes.
so we're really trying to expand our collection in all ways in those, but everything. That's what our style show was, from, the first ones we had clear up to modern ones.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. How fun. How
we
fun.
just love to have it.
Actually, you do have.
We have special storage
just-
for
There is.
cared
Go
for.
ahead. I'm sorry. Finish up.
That's all.
Yep. Yep.
I was talking over you. Sorry.
That's
But
all
you
right.
have FUN Fund In fundraising, and you just lit it out, don't you?
We do. We have, like I said, it's a lot of fun. And, we always tell the community to use it. They have club meetings in here, and we've had family reunions in here, and we've had wine and cheese nights. And, we've
That's
just, the community uses it. It's like a small venue.
Yeah.
Do you keep a guest book?
Oh, yes.
Oh, and the people come from far and near?
Yes. Yes, they do. They do.
Have there been guests or visitors outside of the United States?
Yes.
Well, Ragbri came through.
Oh, sure.
And they had, we had, I think it was around 600 people register. That came through our museum.
That we're here in the museum.
And we had people stationed in each room to, tell about it and show them and answer questions. And it was a real success.
Cheryl, can you explain what Ragbri is, please?
Oh, it's the Des Moines Register used to sponsor the great bicycle ride across Iowa.
Okay.
Yearly, and it's gone on for years and years and years. And it's just thousands of people.
Yes.
Come
All
through.
right. Would you like to start taking us on a tour? Or Jackie, maybe you had a question. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's what I was going to ask. It's time for the tour.
All right. All
It'll
right.
be fun
Let's go.
to see what you have from the 50s.
Oh, yes.
And
Well,
beyond.
we'll get Natalie and beyond. We'll get Natalie in on this too, because she wants to talk a little bit.
Yes.
Here's
Hi,
Natalie.
Natalie.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
All right. Where should we begin?
We're ready to learn.
Wonderful.
Let's show a few of these items right here. These are a few items that we pulled out from our storage. I don't know if you can see them. I don't think they
You
can
might have
see
to
them.
lift them up.
Yep. I'll show
Okay.
you this right
Oh,
here.
yes.
Because
You know
everybody remembers Evening in Paris and the
Yes.
pretty blue bottles. And we have such a collection of this stuff. And we even take the lids off, and it just brings back such memories because,
Oh.
yes, did you ladies have any Evening in Paris? When
Yes, we
You
did.
were, yes, yes.
We
And
got
I-
it at the Woolworth store.
Oh, yes, yes.
And I think you can still get it from the Vermont Country Store, too.
I'm sure.
Really?
I'm
Okay. I
sure.
bet you could, yes.
We have an old radio. And
Uh-huh.
these were made in a kind of a plastic cover, and we've got several of these, but we thought, well, that's kind of fun because we all grew up listening, to music on those.
Mhm. Well, or how about radio shows, old-time radio shows?
Yeah.
Yes. In our kitchen, you will see the cookbooks and things from KMA radio station.
Okay.
And
The
we'll have those when we get there.
Okay.
Gloves were essential back in the 50s. When you dressed up, you had gloves.
Wore them
So we
to
have those.
church.
That's right.
Yes, wore them to church.
And of course, baby shoes. These were the only thing that children could wear as they learned to walk, and they're not very comfortable, I think. So the new babies have better options than we did.
Yes.
Do you remember when you bought your the first pair of baby shoes for your oldest child?
Yes. Pass them down.
It was like a rite of passage.
Oh, yes.
That's right.
Oh, yes. And we thought this was awfully cute too. A little Disney lunchbox.
Oh, yes.
The little metal ones, that opened up, and oh my gosh, we just had more fun with this. But yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
Oh, and the thermos where it went. That's
The
interesting.
thermos, yeah, the thermos where it went, and so yes, every now and then we have a little display of our little lunch pails out because they're kind of fun too.
Does anyone, when anyone come to the museum, do they ever want to buy any of the items?
No, No, I've never had anyone really ask to buy anything. They see what we have and they think, "Oh, would you want any more of those? We have those. Could we bring those in and donate those to you?" That's more what we get.
Okay.
This is another thing from our era, as you girls will remember, the stamp books.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have to lick the stamps in those?
My sister and I were the official stamp lickers.
Oh, what? Didn't that taste gross?
Oh, yes, it did.
Yes, it did. But then you got to look at the wish book. And,
That's right.
And choose what you wanted
That's
to
right.
get from the stamps.
Yes. That's where we
What
got our
was the closest redemption center to Griswold where you could get free items and for your stamps?
We did have that in the grocery store. You could get some plates and glasses and cups, things like that.
Oh,
It was like a mail order thing,
Right.
wasn't it?
This is we go to Omaha, and there's a place you could trade these in.
Oh, fun.
uh-huh.
Fun.
That's where we got our kitchen stool.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Nail
sure a lot of families were able to get items for their home or fun or entertainment just because they had the stamps that they could redeem.
That's right.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we're going to move on here to a little bit. We've got a display here of early advertising items. And here again, people constantly bring in different things, for this. But some of them are kind of fun, that you would get like if you took things into the banks or when you got gas, a lot of them from the gas stations. But just kind of fun things, that we preserved over the years.
Ladies, where do you get your display cases?
Oh, we buy them whenever we can. We have put them all on wheels so that they're a little bit more mobile. And then we've had them. One of our projects recently was we had lighting installed in all of them because, most display cabinets aren't lit. And so this way, it kind of highlights the items in there. But we get them like at auctions, or we get them when a business goes out of
Business.
out of business. Yeah, out of business. Yeah.
Should we go to the Indians and our?
Yeah, we want to show you some of our Indian collection.
Okay. And what tribe was located in Southwest Iowa or in that Griswold area?
The Omahas?
There were the Iowa Indians and the Potawatomi. We have, as you notice up here, we have a program that tells all about the highlights of it. So our main exhibits, we do have things like that, so that as people go through, they can read those if they don't want us to escort them through.
Sure. Is that those not moccasins, but they're almost like boots of some sort? Are they leather?
Yes, they are.
Deerskin?
Yes, they are.
Wow, they look like they're in beautiful shape.
They look like they're West Coast Indians.
They could be.
They are. The bear and the raven.
Okay.
And we're all yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Actually, those are symbols or totems of individual tribes, clans.
Okay. You're educating us. There was a teacher or a doctor in Atlantic who had this extensive collection. And then he had given them, I believe, to the high school. And the high school ended up storing them all away. When they rediscovered them, they offered them to us. And so we're trying to do it justice.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Can you see our family?
Yes.
Oh, what wonderful items to have.
And their little papoose.
Uh-huh.
So we've had just great compliments about this. It's just a wonderful collection, a wonderful addition. And one of the gentlemen, we've had two basic collectors that donated this, and one was he was a world traveler and he collected so many items from so many different tribes. But our local tribe was, like I said, the Potawatomis, and our Boy Scout camp out here where the Creighton Retreat Center is.
Okay.
They have a wonderful collection out there in Indian mounds, and it's just really exciting, for people to see it and to go out there and experience it.
Do you have to take any special care of the clothing items there?
Yes, we do. When it is not on exhibit, most of the wedding dresses, we sometimes put in these big boxes with acid free, paper, and it's because, to hang them for so long is kind of hard on the shoulders and that sort of thing. So Cheryl's really good about that. And we just kind of take care of them, when we can.
I've got
As
something
best
up on
we
the
can.
screen that shouldn't be there. We don't know how to get rid of it. Excuse us.
We're having,
Not a problem.
we're
is
having
why-
some technical
we go.
difficulties.
So I'm not the computer person. See, I managed already to hit the wrong thing.
I think as you were taking us on a tour through that area, we saw that person lying in state.
Yes,
Oh,
I'm
yes,
gonna
we'll
say-
see that now.
I'll show you that in a little bit better here as soon as we get our
Get
screen back to it.
Our computer gal will fix it for
Yeah.
us. Is that on your screen?
I don't
Are
think
you
it's on
seeing
theirs.
anything you
There we
shouldn't?
go.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Should we see our?
Yes,
There we go.
there's the body basket.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes. I wonder if there was only one size fits all type thing.
I think so. And we were kind of chuckling about it. I don't think I personally would fit in there because it's very narrow. I think back in that era, people must have been much smaller.
Yes. Or if children were
Yes.
I suppose that would be the size body that would fit it.
Perhaps they had shorter ones, but this is what we were blessed with.
Uh-huh.
So are the 1950s toys near there?
Yes, we'll go look at those. Should we go measure? Yeah, or we could show them this little, this little pink. Yeah. So this is some of our 1950s toys up here on this shelf, and this little pink, you girls probably remember that, the little pink
Sweet.
metal kitchen.
Yes. Oh, how
Isn't that fun? And then the little dishes, every little girl had to have their dishes. And we have several really, really nice dollhouses.
Yep. Jackie had a dollhouse in the 50s. It was a metal one. Is this
Yeah.
one?
This is.
This is a metal one too, and we'll show you one a little bit closer, up close and personal.
When we get in the other room.
Oh, and there's another little kitchen set up above there.
Yes.
Boy, those are well preserved. At least they feel like.
Yes.
This is
it
like what my sister and I had, or that
You
we
see
had.
that?
We had the stove part of it and the refrigerator.
Did you ever have one of those? What were they called? The bake ready stove, bake
Bake light, bake,
The Easy Bake Oven.
easy bake.
easy
That's right.
bake.
Yes.
Easy bake.
For little.
Yes. So here is a little metal
Oh,
house that we have. I don't know if you can see that with all the furniture.
Mhm.
yes. Jackie, do you remember that?
I certainly do. In fact, I just came across some of that furniture recently.
Isn't that fun? So this was a recent donation, and she's been in to visit it twice.
Oh.
She likes to come in and make sure we have the furniture where it should be.
Of course.
And there's even a washing machine in there.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It just had everything.
Oh.
Just had everything.
Do you recall if with those dollhouses, did they come with all the furniture, or did that was all?
I think some of them had basic, but then I think you could add to it. And this
Okay.
is a favorite of ours too, kind of a Victorian
Yeah.
Oh my!
Yes.
dollhouse. Isn't that something?
Yes, it is.
And then
Wow!
here's some more of our toys down here as well.
Uh-huh.
But yes, but now we're going to move around into the kitchen area.
Okay.
And this is a new display that we've put out. Remember the old aluminum Jello molds?
Yes.
We'll have them.
Yes. Do you have any
Aluminum.
Tupperware? Any Tupperware?
We do have a little Tupperware, and then we always like this pitcher and the aluminum glasses, too.
Yes.
We had those.
They kept drinks so cold, and the hands were so cold.
Yes, they did.
Love those bowls.
And then everything tasted a little bit like aluminum, too. Yeah.
I always remember them sweating like crazy in the hot weather.
Yes, yes. And we love this stuff, the old Pyrex that first came out. And we're going to open up the fridge here because these are kind of the original storage containers.
The ice box.
In the ice box. Do you remember these?
Are they ice cube trays?
Get you a little bit closer here.
Oh.
You can see those.
Oh.
The old ice box, yes.
Uh-huh.
Fun stuff.
I'm really attracted to cash registers. I saw there at cash register. Do you know what kind of business that came out of?
So this came from one of the local businesses, and they had it in their basement, and asked if we would like to have it, and we just said, "Oh my, isn't it beautiful?"
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And just some things, down in here that you might get at the general store.
Oh, is that Chinese checkers game?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Isn't that fun? And then up here,
You're bringing back memories.
remember the jewel tea dishes?
Oh, sure.
Yep. The canning stuff. Now we're going to go along into the next room.
We need to show the kitchen table.
Oh, yes, the kitchen table. Remember the old kitchen tables?
Yes. And does it have the leaves that you kind of pull out from?
Yes, it does.
Wow, that's in beautiful shape.
It is. Isn't that fun?
Uh-huh.
Isn't that
This
fun?
tablecloth I love too. That's definitely a 50s.
Yeah.
Oh. And that was an era when tables were made to look lovely.
Yes, it
That's
was.
right.
It was. It was. And then we have all the tea towels.
Do you have any women's hankies?
We do. We do. I think we're going to show you maybe a few of those right in here. This was a display that was a local businesswoman, and she had a clothing store, and she was also a beautician. And we have two of her perm machines. I'm going to get you real close.
Yes.
Isn't that funny? And we have people that come in and they say, "Oh, we had one of those perms." Here's another one. And what could possibly go wrong when you have those perm rods in your hair and she plugs you into the electrical outlet?
Oh, goodness.
Possibly go wrong. But this dress that we're looking at right here
Gorgeous.
came from her shop.
Mm-hmm.
And then these things up here on the shelving are also kind of reminiscent of that. But her name was Albertine Hafner. And here is a picture of her
1955.
in 55, and then what her shop looked like.
Uh-huh.
And it was over there next to where Sheryl had her shop.
Okay.
Yeah, so anyway, just kind of fun. But here are some hose that came out of her shop and some gloves and the slip that you used to get.
Yeah. Every Christmas.
Every Christmas. Every Christmas.
Yes.
We were blessed
Yes.
with the Tony permanents.
Oh, that's for sure.
The
Yes.
little activity book, and you
Yes.
sit there patiently as they stunk like crazy.
Oh,
But anyway,
yes.
better than this.
Better than this. Exactly.
Yes.
This is kind of a new exhibit this year, too. This coverlet is over 200 years old, and it came from a local family that raised the sheep and sheared them and dyed it and then wove this blanket. So we're pretty proud of that.
My goodness.
And it was just an amazing, amazing shape. We have kind of a collection of old calendars, and they're just so beautiful. We always frame some of the pretty ones, and then This, we have a collection of the old cameras. Some of those, you know, are from 50s and before. Everybody got a brownie. Remember those?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, yes.
And I think now of what the cost of buying the film and developing that film,
Oh,
and some of
yes.
the pictures were just not even
Yes.
viewable.
Exactly. And now we take out our iPhones and snap a picture. These are some of the cases that are from each of the towns in the county. And so we like to showcase some of the things, you know, that came from each of the different cities. Here's a little thermos we were going to show you that kind of, if you can see that.
That's cute.
Isn't that cute?
Uh-huh.
You should get a globe.
But here's the globe. Here's some of the things from the Globe Theater that we have.
Mm.
And then some of the movies. Can you see that okay, ladies?
Yes. Do you remember going to movies there?
Yes.
Yeah, Cheryl does.
I was the Griswold girl, and yes, we went to movies there a
We
lot.
went to movies. It was a treat too, wasn't it, in those days?
Yes, it was.
Quite a treat.
And they were decent movies.
Yes, yes. Well, some of those, you know, I look at and I can remember seeing them. I can remember seeing them. Now, Cheryl's going to show us some of the crazy quilts we have.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of our collection. A local welder made this for us to hang up all of our quilts, and we have some beauties.
This is wool and velvet, crazy quilt. Here's one, a comforter.
Are they made by different seamstresses or different quilters?
Yes.
Yes, been donated to us.
Oh,
Community quilts where they had the family names on them. That's what all of these are right here. Just a wide variety. Look at this funny little, I mean, this difficult little one to do.
Yeah, how tiny those blocks are. Oh,
yeah.
So, ladies, when guests come there, they want to touch them. Do you offer them gloves?
oh yes.
Right here.
There's a basket of gloves, and we
Good
kind
idea.
of
Thank you.
we kind of follow them around here. I've got to show you this one in front while Cheryl's
this in
looking
here?
because
Yeah.
this is one of my favorites. Isn't that gorgeous?
Yes.
With the yo-yos.
Oh, that is work.
There's just wonderful variety.
Yes.
And we try to give credit where credit's due.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And again, you know, kind of hard on quilts to hang them. So we do rotate these around, you know, too. We have just a wonderful collection of quilts. And, you know, people like to come in and look at their family quilt.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of try to, if they call and let us know, we kind of try to put that on exhibit, you know, too. Like if they're having a family reunion, you know, or this type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So is every item that is on display in the museum, has it had its roots or its life in Cass County, Iowa?
For the most part, yes.
Okay.
Yep, for the most part. Yep. Now we're going to go into another little room. This is another new exhibit here too. We have kind of a history of phones. And I know some of you will probably remember the old crank style phone. And before we go in there, I want to show you this little dress because it was made out of feed sacks.
Yes.
Do you remember how people used
yes.
to go and buy?
We use that
Yes.
fabric.
Yes. But this is our new little phone room. And there's the old crank style phone. And we were talking about this yesterday, and I said, I can remember our ring was 2 longs and 2 shorts.
And mine was three shorts.
And then we also have the old switchboard that came out of Wyota.
Oh, okay.
And
Wyota is a town how far from Griswold?
it is a town about, what would it be?
40 miles.
40 miles away, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, we wanted this. We've had this donated. We haven't had it on display. But, you know, when the children come in, the parents are always saying, don't touch anything. Don't touch that. But we thought this would be something that they could play with. And when we get these kids in here, they just cannot fathom. What do you mean she made your calls for you? What do you mean? So anyway, it's just kind of been a fun thing, for kids to play with. They just can't get it. But here's some other little phones, that we just kind of have around and through the ages.
Do most of those phones still work?
I would have my doubts. Some of them would, like the candlestick phone here is a relatively modern one. Here's like one of the first cell phones that we have come across.
Huh. Yeah.
And that beautiful green color.
Yes.
Yes, the beautiful green color. And these, I'll have to show you these because this is kind of a fun thing. There used to be a hotel here in Griswold, and these are the stained glass windows that came out of them.
They're beautiful.
Yeah,
it's so nice to have those preserved.
It is. So we've had a lot of people that have come in to look at those too. And this is the Little House on the Prairie room. And we had these dolls donated by, well, actually it was one of my doctors that I used to work with. And so we kind of thought we loved the stories so much when we were kids that we thought, well, we'll just make a little room for it.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
Well, we're kind of getting towards the end of our time. You also mentioned presidential candid buttons?
Oh, yes.
Are we headed that way?
We'll take a look at those. Here, we're going to just walk and talk real quick. This is our pride and joy, a desk used by Frank Whitney, who was kind of instrumental in laying out Atlantic and Griswold. And this is the Victorian room that I said, and I'm going to tip you up a little bit. I don't know if you can get a very good look at the tin ceiling.
Yes. Did you have to do anything to restore that?
We had scaffolding up for 9 months. We felt like we were working on the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah,
we were on our backs, and we scraped. It had like 18 layers of paint on them, and so we scraped and yeah, it's just a labor of love again. But here's a case, one of my favorites. You can see that ahead of you there.
Do you have a collection of hat pins?
We do. We have fabulous hat pins. I'll take you and let you look at some of those. Can you see those on the bottom there?
Okay. And hat pin holders.
Yes.
Well, with the upcoming election, those buttons, we don't see buttons like that anymore.
Here's a wedding dress from the 50s. I'll get you a quick look at that. Look at the little sweetheart bodice. I don't know if you can see that very well or not.
And that probably would have been worn with a long crinoline or a hoop slip.
Oh, yes. Yep. There's one under there. There is one under there. But here we go. We're going to walk into the buttons. We'll show you those real quick. I hope I'm not making you dizzy. But here are the buttons. And this was a collection.
Oh, wow.
Yep. This was a collection that was donated to us. See the I Like Ike? Yes.
Loveless, who was our governor about that time.
Yep.
That definitely was a way of campaigning back then.
Oh, yes. Wasn't it? Kind of get you a look at all of these. But it's just a fabulous collection. We're very proud of it.
I bet people just really stand there and
they do. They do. Like you said, especially, this year with the election coming up. Do we have time to show you the barns real quick?
Just very quick. We've got about 2 minutes left.
Oh my gosh, 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Quickly.
And we didn't see the doll collection.
I know. So here's the barns. I'm just going to pan it for you.
Yes.
Nice. Very nice.
What workmanship.
Oh, he was just an artist.
And round barns. Now, round barns have a history all their own.
He loved his round barns.
Yeah.
So a lot of these are local from Griswold and Atlantic and the surrounding era. And then he also had this model of Crystal Lake, which used to be where Cold Springs is now, there by Lewis.
Oh, okay.
And here's a fabulous swimming suit.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Made of wool? Is it made of wool?
Yeah, pretty much. It's very heavy, and can't imagine. But this is our schoolroom, and we've got just a couple of little 50s outfits here for children.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we have to show you this.
Oh, the poodle
Yes.
skirt.
The
Yes.
poodle skirt.
Did you ladies have a poodle skirt?
Oh, yes, I still do.
Yes.
I still do. But here's a very pretty formal,
Yes.
and then another one.
Mm.
Oh my, yep. That's what I remember the 50s. That
Yes.
all that
Yes.
lace.
Wedding cake on
Ruffles.
display.
Leather jackets.
Yes, exactly. Well, thank you, ladies.
Oh, thank you. This has been fun. It's been a treat. And so if people want to come to visit the Cass County Museum, we'll get Sheryl and Sally on there on the screen again. What are your hours? Where, and tell us for sure where is Griswold, Iowa?
Well, we're in the Southwest Iowa. We're kind of between Atlantic and Red Oak, and the museum is open 1st of May to the end of October, unless you call us, and we'll be glad to open up for you.
Okay.
We'll be open for a day or two in December. We decorate the living lights out of her, so we're open when Santa comes to town, and so we'll be open then. But we always say, if you want a special tour, just get a hold of one of us and send us an email or drop us a little blurb, and we'll be glad that we like to show it off. So we'll be glad to open.
We love our museum. We're
And,
really
and
actually
do you have a website they can go to?
I'm sorry.
Do you have a website people can go to learn more?
What is it?
Coming soon.
Okay.
We're kind of in the process of redoing it. So that's Miss Natalie. She's our tech wizard. She is just so good at this.
But we have an active.
I did find this online, and it said the highlight of this museum is that it has an indoor bathroom.
It does.
Did you know that was on your site?
No. That was probably for the rag people.
For rag people.
Yes.
We have Facebook.
Yeah, we do have a very strong Facebook presence. So if anybody needs to get a hold of us, they can find us that way. Cass County Historical.
Well, Sally, Sheryl, and Natalie, we thank you so much for your time today and the trip through time at the Cass County, Iowa Museum. Jackie, this is another conclusion to an exciting chat of including things and archives from the 1950s. So it's fun to reminisce with that. Jackie, can you close our program?
Well, one of the goals of this fun chat is to continue to educate people about the recent history of the 1950s. And so we have done that again today. We thank you, ladies, for being there for all of us, and good luck with your future is the museum. So, do look at this chat and other chats, and you want to tell them, Janine, how they can find this chat?
You bet. Just go to the YouTube channel, 1950s Fun Chat, or we on our website, whilethewindmillwatch.com. We do have all of the previous Fun Chats archived, so you can see number 1, and you will soon see this number 164 archived on our website.
So until next time, tell your friends, even your relatives, about the 1950s Fun Chat. Until then,
Thank you, ladies. Appreciate